if this story sounds familiar. It's finals week, and your first test is tomorrow morning. It's not your best subject, but it's also not your worst subject. It's just that subject that could bump you up a full letter grade if you do really well. And you've done all you could do to prepare for it. You've made study guides, you've practiced flashcards with friends, and you're still experiencing major fear. Do you know what we call that feeling? Anxiety. And by the way, if you think you might be struggling with anxiety, then I would encourage you to check out our trending playlist on anxiety on YouTube. It's got a week's worth of devotionals and truth on the very subject. Anxiety is something that can be really confusing because, like when anticipating a test, it can freak us out when we have no reason to be freaked out. In his letter to the Philippian church, the Apostle Paul acknowledged this, and he encouraged them not to be anxious. He said, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, and with thanksgiving, present your request to God." So not only does he encourage us not to be anxious, but he suggests an alternative for us to choose instead of anxiety. He tells us to present our requests to God. And God, as the incredible listener that he is, can do so much more for us than fear ever could. Fear will freeze you. Fear will freeze you, but prayer will free you. There is something about telling God about the things in our lives that cause us anxiety that ends up freeing us from it. There is something about telling him about it that frees us from it. Now, does that freedom look the same way or happen the same way for every individual thing that we experience anxiety over? Absolutely not. But does prayer work every single time? Absolutely. So it's something we should return to over and over and over again. And if prayer is not a habit that you have, then now is the best time to start developing it. Here's a prayer that you could even start this morning. We'll use Philippians 4:6 as a template. God, I am anxious about blank, but I come to you with blank, and with a thankful heart knowing that I can come to you with it. Would you free me from the feeling that I have over blank? Thank you for always being available to listen to me and to my heart. Amen. Music can also be very helpful in anxiety. Sometimes finding a worship song that is either uplifting or completely relevant to your situation can be so helpful. The Lord sometimes will even speak to you directly or free you completely from anxiety just through songs like that. Check out the song of the day and see if today's song might be that song for you. And if anything, then just remember, when you don't know what to do, when you can't see the bigger picture, prayer is always the next right thing to do.